Salve. Be well. Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
What troubles you?
I have all the pages of the torn-up book. The Art of Love can go back to the library.
Oh, brother, you can't even imagine how happy you've made me. Since you're clearly a true lover of books, I'll give you a reward I've never given another novice. I'll lend you the key to the cabinet containing forbidden books, and you can look at the peculiar things we've accumulated there. That cabinet's strictly off-limits to novices, but you've earned my trust. I'm sure you'll recognize that those books contain nothing but dangerous gibberish, and there's a valuable lesson to be learned there.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your trust. Is there anything I can do to help here?
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing, a silly thing really. I haven't thought to mention it to anyone before, but not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled up in a hole in the wall. The thing is, it was a page from Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
What have they done to you this time, brother?
They're shirking their responsibilities, leaving us, their superiors, to chase around after them.
I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around the corridor at night. What am I saying, creeping? He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Sir Cater. He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
Salve. Be well.
What troubles you? What is it, brother?
Will you tell me something?
Look.
Very well. I will.
Thank you.
I'm still curious.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
Actually, I don't care. God save. Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I'd prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep...
I've read one of the manuscripts copied by one of the novices. I think I'm going to cry.
It's that touching, is it?
Touching? More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. Young people have no respect for writing these days.
But they'll learn. We were no different.
What troubles you?
Ah, Gregor.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. What can you tell me about Siskin?
That there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life than him.
You don't know young Lord Capon.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him. Fighting, drinking, fornicating. But then he ended up in here.
Why is he in the monastery?
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from something. Or maybe he's being punished.
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all? But unlike the others, he absolutely refuses to speak about his life before the monastery.
That's all I wanted to know about him. Thanks. What about Yodok?
Be on good terms with him. If you show even the slightest hint you don't like him, he'll make your life hell. He's a slimy little pedant who'll rat you out to the superiors. Once he finishes his novitiate, I imagine he'll want to climb his way up the ladder to at least Sir Cater. He's a man who enjoys ordering others around.
I'm interested in
One of the
Lucas.
manuscripts copied by one of the
No one
novices.
knows much about him.
I think I'm going
He
to
doesn't
cry.
talk to anyone.
It's that
He
touching,
works,
is it?
eats, sleeps,
Touching?
then does it all
More like
again the next day.
infuriating.
It's as if he wanted to get it all over with
Abominable
as soon as
waste of
possible.
parchment.
By it, I mean his entire life.
These days.
But they'll learn.
That's all.
We were no
Thanks.
different.
Salve. Be well.
Praise be.
What troubles you?
Praise be to Christ, brother.
Something is gonna happen out there.
Talk to me, brother.
And besides, God will be our protector.
About you in the election, will you tell me more about it?
Ask me anything you want.
I'd like to help you if I...
There is something you could do. I am convinced Nevlus must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example.
So, I should dig something up on him and tell you about it?
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nevlus is too cunning and careful to give anything away.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't seem right to me.
He who aids a sinner sins himself. I shall pray for your soul, brother.
Servus.
Thank you for answering.
What do they do in that kitchen?
Praise be
I
our
bet they
Lord
keep
Jesus.
the tastiest morsels for themselves and give us the slop that's left over.
The food's definitely gone downhill. I remember back when we ate like kings.
Oh, and the wine. Those are the days.
You'll see. Things will get better with the new abbot.
Let's hope.
But I still reckon we haven't seen the last of it. That Sigismund is still on the rampage, attacking the nobles one
It's a
by
mystery,
one across the
but
land.
one that'll soon be
And
solved.
brigands are like
It's a wonder
weeds.
that Pryor doesn't
Burn them
check
down,
everyone's
and they
breath in the
just
morning.
sprout up somewhere
Then he'd
else.
soon get his man.
That's not the half of it. What about the attack on Murray yet? While the lords are dealing with one lot of marauders in Privoslavets, there's another bunch pillaging somewhere else. There'll be no peace as long as Sigismund goes on ransacking Bohemia. Sure as the sun circles the
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Yet again, peace be with you.
Servus. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Well, probably the same as you. I want to be able to read in peace and quiet. And not just the books they make us read.
What exactly do you read here?
Well, I'd be interested to find the unofficial biography of Saint Procopius, but there probably is no such thing. To be honest, I was expecting some entertaining reading, but it's just the same old stuffy nonsense. But if that locked cabinet there with all the forbidden books was open, that would be a different story. Until recently it was still unlocked, but after something vanished, they've kept it locked tight.
If something vanished, I can understand why.
Books are meant to be read, so why keep them hidden away? If you're able to get inside, I'll be grateful till the day I die. All I'll do is leaf through a few books and then put them right back. Talk to me, brother. Unbelievable. Imagine these men could have been burned at the stake just for writing these books. Many were, I'm sure. It's mostly Latin, that's not much use. What about this one? Magical potions for conjuring diverse apparitions. I'll take it.
Hey, you better leave that here.
What are you so afraid of? No one will notice if one or two books are missing. This one looks interesting. A sorcerer's potion for rematerializing the body physical in other realms and for conversing with spirits of all manner therein. Oh, I have to try it out. I'll remember the recipe and prepare it later. What is it, brother?
About that magic potion from the forbidden books. What do you plan on doing with it?
I don't really know yet. Perhaps one day I'll concoct it and try it out.
Would you share the recipe with me?
You don't even have to ask. It's thanks to you I have it. Listen, old wives' ointment, which witches use upon the Sabbath, and therein damn their souls to the devil. Prepare oil, a fistful of marigold, a fistful of belladonna, and a fistful of lover's knot. Boil the lover's knot for one turn. Drop the ground marigold in the cauldron and boil for another turn. Drop the ground belladonna into the cauldron and boil for another turn.
Sounds quite poisonous.
And it probably is, but I'm interested to find out what it does. Praise be to Christ.
About that magic... Siskin, that potion isn't a good idea.
Well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I want to try it out. I'm not saying right now, but at some point.
Let's change the subject. What have we here? It looks like a book with the names of all the novices. Interesting. But I still don't know which one of them is pious.
What do you desire?
What's there left to drink to?
To our fresh young novices, our swift steeds, and our boundless cellars.
You and your novices, you old pervert. A toast to our future abbot.
I'll drink to that. So, to John, the future abbot, and a pox on Nevlus.
That killjoy? He'd love to have us all under his thumb. Fat chance.
Don't worry. Those youngsters will wise up once they hear all about him.
Will they believe it?
Even if just 2 or 3 of them do, it'll help us. So, to Abbot John.
To Abbot John.
God be with you.
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You won't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
All right. I wouldn't mind some wine.
That's more like it. Sit down and have a drink, my lad. I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour. God knows what's in it.
Don't be absurd. It's a first-class cask, direct from Znojmo.
No, I know the taste of a good vintage, and this isn't it. I bet you that wretch Yorick got the casks mixed up.
Nonsense, it's perfectly drinkable.
No, it isn't. It's sour. No matter. We'll get more soon, so good health.
Good health.
We'll have to take that Yorick to task about where he got this wine and tell him next time he'd better get proper Znojmo.
What would you like?
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Drinking.
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
But you're the cicators. You're the ones meant to be keeping order here. How can gambling and drinking be a fitting part of a monk's life?
If you really want to know, see for yourself.
All right. Have it your way.
Talk to me, brother.
Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Abbot John.
That's more like it.
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Well, nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are. But this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty, and we need a new one. We're a bit old for such exertions, but you, on the other hand...
I'll help you. What do I need to do?
Ha! I knew it. Help Novice Yorick arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night, the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him. About you in the election.
Ask me anything you want.
Thank you for answering. Let's play!
Just the man we've been waiting for, my friend. So, let's play.
I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour.
What is it, brother?
Every goal.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I was talking last night with the brother Cicators. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine, like last time.
Well, yes, it's true.
I'd like to help you.
Would you really do it? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but we've no other option. If wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
Well, you see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able to pick the locks.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to steal the keys.
How can I get hold of the keys, do you think?
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them. Brother Celerius, the cellar keeper, used to be a burglar. He knows his way around locks, and maybe could help us, if you could find a way to arrange it.
Do you think he'll want to take part in theft?
No, but he could give some advice, or maybe get some lockpicks to open the gate. You'll figure something out.
If you think so, I can try.
Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come and see me and we'll make our plan.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since this spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking...
What is it, brother?
Escape sin. And in another place...
I'm looking for something.
And what?
Oh, nothing really.
The disciples depart. Be silent and to listen. In submission, inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility. The first degree of humility. And the fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting. As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer.
What would you
any
like?
delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what
About those keys.
is done without hesitation,
Did you get them? Keys? Or at least lockpicks?
grumbling, or objection. For the
Yes,
obedience
I have them.
given to superiors is
In that case, come before midnight to the cloister garden. I'll be waiting for you there, and we'll head off.
lips, but simply in his heart. Then even though he fulfills the command, yet his word
I'm interested in the.
will be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart
What can you tell me about Siskin?
far from gaining a reward
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties.
of Saint Benedict.
I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
Name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching.
Sounds like you don't have much time.
That is to say,
No, I don't.
he should show them
He
all
isn't
that
a
is
proper
good
monk, and he doesn't belong here.
by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples.
I've read the abbot's book.
The divine
It says in there that you're not as saintly as you make out. Actually, it seems like you're as lecherous as a boring rut.
remember what
You broke into the abbot's quarters to spy on me?
and should know that
You won't get away with it.
more is
I wasn't interested in your opinion about what I did. What interests me is you and what the book has to say about you.
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to report you.
more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but since
Just
he
try
has
it, and I'll smack you so hard your feet won't touch the ground.
No, don't hit me. I won't say anything to anyone, I promise.
Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Siloam, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient character. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on
What troubles you?
labor. Idleness is the enemy of
About those keys.
therefore the brethren
Did you get them? Keys? Or at least lockpicks?
and again at fixed hours.
Yes.
of sacred reading. To that end we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows.
I'm interested.
From Easter until the
What?
calends of
I'm
October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence before it.
What is it, brother?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
Salve. Be well.